Can you guys hear? Yeah. Okay. I'll leave it this way. Uh, okay. So I think I have like 10,000 rupees worth of Amazon coupon, and there are going to be some Easter eggs, and some of you guys are gonna pick it up if you're lucky enough. Uh, there'll be questions, and yeah. So, how many of you have watched Star Wars? Uh, really, only 20% have watched Star Wars. Like, that's a bummer. so, so I got into this industry just because of Star Wars, right? Like, so I was a child, and when I was introduced to Star Wars, I was so flabbergasted, and I always wanted to know how it's been created, and that's how this journey started. And so, if you um, like any kid, like I wanted to create things, and went into NID architecture, did my architecture because that was the closest course for design that was available here. And so I did my architecture, and architecture gave me a good foundation. And but I never wanted my buildings to be on the land. I wanted it to float. And plus, I didn't want to deal with the contractors because they were really a third world problem for me. So then I was thinking like I didn't know what to do, and I was thinking like uh, there was no courses except NID. So I know like okay, my parents wanted mom is an IAS and my dad is an IRS. So they both wanted me to do something similar to them. But then when I didn't want to do it, and they were like, no, do something at least related to engineering, no design, no pure art, and all those things. So I did my architecture, then moved to NID, uh, product design, and left NID. So before I went to NID, it was like my dream goal to get into NID. But within a week, I got into NID. By that time, the Balram, the dean of NID, told like you don't have to be there because there is nothing for you to learn here because like what you're seeking is out there in West, not here. And it was like, oh man, like I came here thinking this is the best place, and they're saying like you get out of this country to learn, and they were so traditional and conventional. So yeah, as an aspiring designer or like I didn't even know what I'm going to be, right? Like, but I want to make cool shapes, um, figure out problems, solve problems, and okay, I went outside. Luckily, I had that opportunity to go outside. I have worked in all these brands, helped set up all these brands in India, outside. Have worked in Zynga even before Zynga India started. Helped Formville, incubate Formville, and then during my job, I was never an artist. I like to draw because I like to visualize what I think, right? And I'm a more so during my journey, like I found like there's so much to design, not just like making beautiful piece of drawings, right? There's people are going to use it. People are going to utilize it in a way that conforms to their needs. So it all started there, and I started as an art director. Was in BBC, blah blah blah, many companies like Technicolor, Zynga, all those big names, which and name it. I worked on games like Gears of War, God of War, Call of Duty. Yeah, yeah, I have to brag myself. That's part of the starting slide. So I was there. Then at some point of time, I wanted to understand business. So I did my masters in Kellogg's, in product management, masters in Kellogg's, and then when I did my diploma with Duke with AI, so I wanted to learn coding, right? I was a designer. I know knew to draw, solve problems, and but I still wanted to learn coding, but I didn't have the a push or a calling to learn coding until these new buzzwords came in, right? Before even these buzzwords came in, before even ChatGPT was there, I want to learn what is happening. There were people like NVIDIA generating these images by stick figure drawings. So that is when like things changed, right? I did my diploma, and then it put a new perspective to me, right? Instead of like pencil, I don't know how many of them are artists here. Not bad. Thank you. People, I can connect with some people there. Okay, I see you guys. Okay, and yeah. So then I figured out, like, when I saw what is happening, right? Like what is going behind AI. Then I found out, like, yes, the judgment day is going to come, right? Like it is going to come, and not in a bad way, like you see in Terminator, or like not like how uh, Arnold says, right? So before AI, right? Before AI, so I'll show you some images which I made without AI, right? These are some of the images which I made without AI. Yeah. So there was this time where pure form of art was there. You have to scribble, sketch, and then find the form, and then paint it with all your hard work. Take 1 week to paint something. Then that's when it is done. Otherwise, it's not respected. And I was like, why do you have to think so much? And you don't have to think so much to paint, because, like, by the time you're thinking how to do the perspective and all those things, you're already wasting time that you're not able to design. You're not spending time on designing. You're spending time more thinking about how you're going to render it. And you're trying to solve the perspective. You're trying to solve the color issues. And I'm like, no, 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 that is not. And there are people who are very good at all these fine art skills, who came from fine art institutions. They're not solving the problem. They were actually rendering a lot. They were spending more time on rendering. So I was the initial guy. I was one of the guys who used 3D to make concept art, right? And it was like, it was again like uh, a topic of conversation, or um, people didn't like it, like how calculator was totally opposed, right? And because they didn't call it as an art. Now this has become a way of production, and now the same way, right? So these were created for like Halo, or a couple of games which I have been working for, like some 15 years back. So I made these 15 years back. It was grueling. It took weeks for me to get these kind of artworks. Yeah, like this one took more than a week, and I believe, like, so I'm 6x entrepreneur. I've been this is the sixth time I'm finding a company. Um, so um, so for me, biggest problem was like scale, right? And for this image, it took like 1 week for me to do. Um, so, okay, let's pause there. Okay, you all know, like, okay, you have seen DreamWorks, great quality and all those things, right? Like, yes, I have worked there. I have created great images, great visuals. Okay, do you guys think, like, how many of you think, like, AI is really a next big thing, or just like bigger tech buzz by juice or something, or VR? How many of you guys think AI is the next big thing? Only 10. Nobody's else thinking like you guys are going to lose it. You're gonna if you're not going to write the way. How many of guys have used AI? Only 50%. Jesus, come on, like, please use AI. Otherwise, you'll be losing your job or something else. You guys have to write the wave. So going back, right? It's not. So there are a lot of these big things, where like the shockers, where like 26% last year alone, 26% of illustrators lost their job, and people are going to lose their job. Yes, obviously people are going to lose their job, but it's okay, right? Uh, okay, how many of you guys have that fear? I just want to just see how people are reacting to AI, right? How many of you guys still think they're going to lose? Might be I'll lose the job. Nobody has that fear. Not bad. Looks like an inferiority defending in the form of superiority. Okay. Uh, yeah, EA is not going to take your jobs. That's true, right? And so, yeah, this is past. Like, okay, uh, can you? Can someone like artist, right? Can look at the image and tell me what is the amount of work gone into this image, creating this image? this was not created by AI. So what do you think would have gone into this image? Like you, yeah. Can you please get that player? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Roughly. But what are the resources that do you think that would have gone into this? Yeah. Yes, digitally done. Yeah, please. If you're a producer, give me a costing on this. Oh, Raju. Yeah, you're the man. Like, tell me who all would have been there? Lead modeler, junior modeler, texture artist, lighting artist, layout. Out of all, concept artist. Yeah, how can we forget them? Like concept artist. Yeah, renderer. Yes, rendering. But it's an image, right? It's cycles. You need a 3D Max or now Blender is there, free for rendering. So technically, would you agree, Raju? 1 month of work to create a scene like this? 1 month of work and 10 people, right? Yeah, we should, right? That's like in outsourcing, you have to manage to do cut it down, right? So it was cost intensive, right? How many people watch Netflix or play games 1 hour a day? People are lying. So, how many people watch and binge at least once a week? Okay, not now they're not lying. Okay, so people are content hungry. Users are content hungry. There's so much requirement for content, and we are not able to deliver it. And delivering content has been a big problem, and delivering a high quality content has always been a big problem. There are few fringes who can deliver high quality. So, like Beta, DreamWorks, Pixar, like Epic, name it, right? These are the companies which can deliver high quality. And we are not able to expand it, like, we are not able to scale it. And with this current day and technology, we have been still stuck in this Hyder Ali's era where, like, we're not able to cater the audience, and they're super hungry. They want, and how much ever you produce, they don't get resistance. They keep watching it. Look at the amount of animes coming out. Like, so we wanted to change it, and so honest to 10, right? So one of my recent tasks, right, I've been doing in my new startup is like working on. Um, okay, no, I okay. How many of you guys are art directors here? Okay. Have you had the feeling that, oh man, if I could put this knowledge into my team, it would have been like I want him to understand this immediately. It's so good, right? And 1:10 is like with AI, you are like 10 artists. See, it's not that you're going to cut down time. They're going to make you work for 10 hours, but you're going to produce 100 hours of output, right? In a day itself. So, how many of them are freshers here? Nice. So, have you felt that have you ever felt like, okay, no, I'm not able to cope up with my senior? Why? Can you get up? Like, I just wanted to have a conversation with you. Like, why do you think you feel that? Can you give the mic to the gentleman, please?
Mostly because of their experience.
Okay, what goes on so what frustrates you?
Time management.
Okay, and managing their expectations also, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So, see, so it is, and it has been a problem, right? Like, it has been a problem in many industry. I'm just talking about this industry. It's been a problem in many industry where people want to transfer their knowledge, and it is not happening as fast as it could, right? Like, you remember the scene. How many of you remember the scene? Okay, tell me what is this scene? Like one guy, get up and tell me. You're going to get an Amazon coupon if yes, right? What is this? What is the next dialogue? Like, anyone who says the dialogue gets a coupon worth of 5,000. Yeah, here you have it. Yeah, you can take it. Okay, I'll leave it here. You can collect it. Yeah, that's true, right? I know kung fu. Exactly, I know kung fu. That was good. And so we we shared this, right? Like as an art director, it's very difficult. As a director, design director, it's very difficult. So to solve certain problems. So I'm like a Swiss Army knife, right? I'm an art director, general product manager, understand metrics. I understand the whole production cycle. So I'm like a bit of everything rather than just an artist. So one of the biggest problem I have faced in companies is like scale due to lack of commitment. The commitment comes down because like they're not empowered to do what they are to do. So I used to work on the big name, Big Z company, and one of the artists. When there was one thing happening, there was one project that was going on, and it was like 7 days review for one image, and he didn't pass through. And unfortunately, I had that is all I had then. That is all I had. But as a design director, I have to get the output from him. So should I fire him? No. Okay. What I do is I train him because I can't fire him. Look, I'm giving him an opportunity to train him and make him better. Hope some of you guys would have been there because you guys are seniors, right? But when I pushed him, right, this is what he told me. I'm going to work only for what I'm going to be get paid. Why the damn? Why in earth you're pushing me to do so much, right? That is because we are not efficient in communicating what we have. We don't have the tools to make him learn faster. So the frustration comes out of lack of agency for these freshers, for artists, right? So these tools are going to make it easier. It's like poof, 100 years of experience, 50 years of experience in just matter of seconds. It's not going to take our job, it's going to make our job very easy. You have to write it, but if you write it, definitely it's going to make it easy. You're going to be extremely productive. Trust me. Right now, we don't have artists. We made a game in 3 months. It's already having crazy retention. I'm not allowed to talk about it. Crazy retention and retention to the topmost competitor, right? And it's just 3 months old. 4 people built this game. No artist. I am the UX guy. I am the 3D, blah, animator, motion graphics, everything. One guy. And there's developer and another team. And there's like also later we are expanding and yes, we are hiring. We're going to hire, right? So it is very easy to do it. If it wasn't for this technology, I wouldn't have even ventured. I thought I'll stop gaming and entertainment and leave this industry for good because it was too binary and it's hit or miss industry, right? Then I felt like, okay, I can do so many tests and find which hits and which works. I can do a lot of testing, right? Because the AI has empowered me to do it. Okay, let's pause. And how many of you know what is AI? Uh, what is going behind the AI scenes? Uh, out of two out of the whole. Okay, good. Like three. Um, so let's talk about that for some time. But I'm not going to talk about the technical dhyan of it, right? Because that's not important. We Let's understand how AI was built, right? AI was built based on us. AI started as a neuron. So input and output, right? Any input and output will always have a bias. And more of those neurons created a neural network, right? And there are layers and layers of information and layers of data and layers of spaces. And as an artist, I suppose you guys to learn a little bit of the technology, so you'll know what is happening behind the scenes also. So you can actually tune these models in a very contextual way, right? So this is the most famous model. Everybody is talking about guns. Forget the name. So this has an ability. So what happens in this? See, how do you? Why is it so important for art or art development to use this, right? So, like I told you, it's emulated from us, right? Gans has a generator and a discriminator. A generator's job is an artist's job. He'll keep generating stuff and then throwing at the seniors. And the discriminator's job is to tell them it's false. No, that's false. Until things match, until things align, until things aligns to the requirement. What is the requirement? The prompt. Prompt is the requirement. So art director's requirement is the prompt, and there is a senior artist who's discriminating those images which is being generated by artists. So that is what happens in Gan's model. So Gan's models are good for generating things. Sometimes there is not consistency. If you want to have fast generations, fast iterations, Gan's models are really good. And otherwise, I'll suggest stable diffusion model. Before talking stable diffusion, see, training data, you need to train data. So see, RAGs is one of the important thing here, right? When you have to understand about how things are working here. So RAGs is like, for example, like there is a problem, right? Like an artist. Okay, fresher, like, can you get the mic? Yeah. So, what will you do when there is a requirement given to you? So, I wanted to create a MOBA game screen. What will you do first?
Firstly, I'll get the design, like what are the requirements,
Yes.
and then the expectations, like what is actual.
What is expected, right?
Yeah.
That is the end result. So, end result is expectation. So, what will a senior do? What will a senior, like, there's a senior. Can you pass on the mic to the senior? Senior artist who's handling two or three artists. So, what will you provide the artist?
So basically, I'll provide some keywords that you have to use.
No, what will you provide the artist with? Forget about AI. What will you provide the artist?
I'll provide artists with a description like what do you have.
Description plus what? What else you give?
What are the references?
References. Yes, you'll go to the internet and fetch references. That is what RAGs does. It goes, then you give a prompt. So generally, RAGs is used in legal, health care, and all these areas where you don't want to make mistakes. But they are starting to use the similar thing also in this area where, like, it's like a senior artist, right? You go and make sure you get the reference, right reference. You go and go outside the data point and get the reference and make sure he's following the art director's command. What is the art director's command? Is the prompt, right? So this is what is happening in AI. So AI is actually working like an art team. The whole diffusion model or GAN is working like an art team, but trained with multiple data and multiple images. Whatever you type is going to be changed into a. There's this beautiful name. I like saying this, like vector representation. Anything you type is tokened and embedded in the form of high dimension space. Vector high dimension space. It sounds cool, right? I just wanted to bring that to you. So anything you type is going to be into vector high dimensional space. I don't know who named it. Might be definitely some science fiction buff. So it changes there, and then you fine tune it. Okay, forget the mumbo jumbo. Let's jump into. So connect with me when you want to have more details and about which model to use where. Yeah, this question is answered. See, now AI is not going to replace us. This is an image created by AI. By looking at it, you can say that's created by an AI, right? And I want to create Machu Picchu or in Peru, but it is very difficult. Okay, seniors, right? Like, can you guys like find what are the mistakes here? Okay, you can get up. Can you please help me with the mic?
there are just random grass growing anywhere. The lighting is not proper. You cannot read it properly. Like it's very perspective is off. Like it just feels off. Like you cannot comprehend what's happening in there.
Okay. Um, okay. Let's go one step further, right? Like, see, look at it like if you now I have been talking about A is great, right? Now you're going to tear it down. No, sometimes it makes my life very miserable because like I thought I can do everything with this guy, and he's saying like, no, I need a lot of inputs, I need a lot of training, and I need a lot of fine tuning. So keep this word is very important. If you're working for a company, if you're working for a project, make sure you fine tune your AI. That's where RAGs comes in. Do you know how many of you hallucinate? Artist? Okay, you know what? AI also hallucinates. It's RAGs is used to reduce hallucination. So when you have a senior, you'll make sure the artist doesn't hallucinate, right? Because you know you have to work and you would have been taken one or two beatings from your art director, so you don't hallucinate and you'll pass it on to the junior, right? So AI doesn't hallucinate because of these things. So these are things happening because of hallucination. It doesn't know what to do and it's not been trained, right? So apart from the random images and artifacts, see, it didn't even know that it has to. There is no thatch roof in Machu Picchu, right? You can't have a thatch roof in Machu Picchu, and it's only stones. Either you build it with the tiles, which are tiled roofs, or nothing. AI doesn't know. You need to train it. So you need to train it. So your eye doesn't see. How many of you know this proverb that eye doesn't see what your eye doesn't see what your brain doesn't know, right? It's the same with the AI. So as long as you don't train it, it can't see it. It's like us. It's built with the same biases, and we have to teach them, right? So if you see in this image, like, can you find what are the mistakes? I'll go with the artist because it's very difficult for non-artists to find it. Yes, yeah. Why? Why should it support? Okay, that is how it is. So, do you know what is this place? Yeah, yeah. Oh, Raju, I don't want to give this card for you. I'm not going to give this coupon for you. Okay, yeah, it is true, right? But to get there, it took a lot of training to get it here. See, it is stylized. It's in Pixar style or 3D style or Blender style. So I had to train it to get there. Before that, it was spitting this out to me, and it's so frustrating, right? So we need to train them on these classical items, like so. Why it looks bad? It can't just put a Corinthian or Ionic order or Tuscan order, right? Let's say these are orders, and we need to teach what is an entablature, what is a frieze. How many of you know what is entablature? Okay, so this part is called entablature. That's the top part of the. Okay, these are the things we need to teach because as an artist we don't know it, and as an AI it doesn't know it. We need to teach and we need to train them. Okay, apart from that, okay, can we play a game? So I still have 4,000, 6,000 left. I think nobody's going to win this today, and Sabo. Let's play a game. Which okay, raise the hand at the count of three. One, two, three. Okay. Which image, left or right, is made by AI? Yeah, that one. I don't understand. Which is like, can you show like this one or that one? This one is made by AI. No, you're wrong. Yeah, that one is made by AI, right? This I had to paint it manually, right? So it is really trained well. So okay, again, one, two, three. Okay, okay. So which one is AI and which one is manual? Okay, okay. Yeah, you're right. And which is AI? Again, raise your hands. Yeah, Again, he raised first. Yeah, which is AI. Right side is AI. Yeah, true. So how did you figure that out? Okay. Yeah, there's so many things, right? Because here there is scale, and it doesn't understand. There's so many things which AI cannot get it, right? And this is for you. You can always collect it from. Yeah, and so let's go to the proof of the pudding, right? Like we have been talking about how. So this was my sketch, and this is what AI generated. For me to do this, it would have taken. This sketch took like some 10 minutes for me to do, and I got like some 100 options in like 1 hour or 2 hours. And think about the amount of iterations I can produce to my team. So this is concept art. Think about what are the most important thing. What is that you keep producing more in gaming and casual gamings, right? Like icons, um, backgrounds, banners. Think about the amount of uh, elements you can produce and pump it onto the PMs and people who run the metrics, because they're all bottlenecked by us. They're bottlenecked by us because like we're not able to produce faster, and these tools are going to help us to produce faster, right? And this is the final output. And this image, drew it like 15 years back, and I always wanted to see it in 3D. I didn't have the ability to do it in 3D. I have to. So if I call my junior and say, hey, at free time, can you do it on Saturdays and Sundays? And let's do it because I'm building a story. He's going to say, like, right? And I don't want that because I already have enough bad names for pushing them so hard. So this is what it did. And I was so happy, like, see what it can do. See, think about, I didn't have, consider I'm a noob, right? I'm a fresher, I'm a novice in modeling. And what I can do, think about so many freshers enabled with these skill sets. And but yes, there are things to learn on how to do it, but not like a traditional pen and paper, where it's like takes a lot of time, right? And okay, beyond that, like, do you guys want to build something and see like how it works, or take it? Otherwise, we can just go on and finish it. You want to build something? Uh, so what? Okay, PM. Any PMs are there? Oh, PM. So what do you want to build? I'm not going to ask artists, like, because like, yeah, yeah. If you want to build something, because you will be you would have had this problem, right? Like, have you had this problem where you've been a PM? I want this more, but it's not getting done. Yeah, it's always the case. Like, let's solve that. What is that you want to solve? No, don't ask me to build a game. I'll build you one asset.
I want to build a new mechanic, for example.
I'm not going to build a mechanic. An asset, art asset.
Artist.
Yeah. What is the most common things like icons, right? In any games, we pump icons. We pump icons and icons and icons. There's so many icons, and that is where you also doubt like whether this is going to be work. That is one thing you guys keep testing it often, and it's so much ambiguity in it. And you know what? Let's um, create an icon and see how we can take it from an image to a usable thing, like in a very short span of time. Um, so no, this is wrong. So yeah, so so I have this ready. So see, look at this, right? And you guys would have used Midjourney, and I'm just giving this prompt. Um, so most of the icons these days are flat. It has to be visible. It's for small size, and it has to be readable. And mostly you make a lot of badges, different kind of badges. So yeah, using that, like, okay, this guy is still thinking like So it's come out of so it's given this output, right? Like so there is like a lot of this is very close, but there are so many lines. Like when you're an artist, you know that there are so many lines you have to do. But what do we do about it? Like um, and second is like, see, we spoke about hallucination, right? Whatever you do, this keeps. See, when I started producing, you see this, right? Look at the amount of hallucination. I want something like this, but it's not giving the same output. So AI hallucinates until you give it an external source or reference. You have to give them reference. Don't let them hallucinate it. Be spot on. Give them references. So after I provided a reference, so it created this, right? And okay, now let's save this image. And so what is that we'll be doing with these images? Because like when you have these kind of images, icons, the first thing you'll do is it'll be there on the level profile screen somewhere, and sometimes it has to keep animating, pulsating to signify the user that, oh, you got this new badge or something, right? So there should be some layer split and motion design. So think about like, see, they have made our life so easier, and all I have to do is like split it. I just split it. It recognizes that that is a metal. Photoshop can recognize object. You understand? It can recognize object. And now I'm using that and duplicating this layer. Control D. Yeah. And I'm gonna. I'm telling remove the metal. Let's see whether it understands. That's thinking. I think it's slow because it's connected to my phone. Yeah. So see, it's created tie and whatnot, right? Like you can just like keep pushing it. So again, if you ask it to generate again, it'll keep refining better and better. Right now, see, you have separated these two layers. For us to fill this, you have to manually paint it, and now it is like the shade, and yeah, with little bit of work, you can make it perfectly clean. See now, yes, this is exactly what I want, and yeah, it's clean, and now this can be animated. This can be animated into two different layers. That's it. That was think about how amount of polish you have to do. Like I don't know if how amount of work it would have taken 2 hours for him to just paint it. I've just reduced it to 2 minutes, right? And the life has become so easy. Yeah, this is the proof of the pudding, right? And so yes, you can create consistency. This is something which we created for our game. Um, to make one image like this, it would have been like, oh, it would, Raju, tell me, Raju, again, I'm going to come to you because you're like one of the senior most, like, one image like this, right? How long do you think it would have taken? Yeah, concept, including concept. Yeah, and rigging. How many people would have been there? Rigging, modeler, shader, and then lighting. Yeah, 5 guys. 1 week of work. How much money? Then give me the numbers. Like 4 or 5 lakhs worth of money minimum, right? 1 week's work for 5 guys divided by 1 lakh. Like each of them who can do this quality of work will be paid around 4 to 5 lakhs per month, and divided by week, it's 5 lakhs for this character, right? So think about it. Like poof, 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 poof. I just created it. And art directors, you don't have to worry about your artists. You can train them easily. You can empower them with these magic, and no more they'll feel frustrated. No more you'll feel frustrated about the lack of technology, right? Or lack of agency. So each of these images. So we created this in a month or something, right? Like it would have taken like years to create this, and more is there, and yeah, I like this. So I'll leave it to question and answer.